What's going on, guys? This is Chris with the Edge Body Radio Show. PJ and I are back again for another episode. Today we are going to cover everything from the success stories at Edge Body all the way to the type of music that we like to listen to. So let's get right into it. If you look at some of the success stories that we've had come here, I mean, of course, you had some people that they'll work out, 3 or 4 times. They figure out, hey, it's not for me. It's not what I'm looking for, whatever the reason is. But you get some that are, in for, they love it. They're all in, whatever their goal is, which is honestly something that we do need to figure out for you so we can kind of create a trajectory and shoot for the stars.
Yeah, because I'm kind of aimless right now.
Right, yeah. So
I still got a Planet Fitness frame of mind, but I'm doing a lot more physically.
That's going to be one of our next episodes we're going to talk about is goal setting, how to set a goal.
Okay.
And what kind of goes into that. So that's going to be something that you guys can look forward to in the future.
You're trying to get me to be one of those testimonials on the wall, aren't you?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, yeah, I said I've got I think it's about 20 testimonials, 25 testimonials up over there. Some people, that's their goal. They're like, man, that's awesome. I want to be up on the wall. We've had people that have maybe only lost, 15 or 20 pounds, but the transformation that they made while they're doing that, which is kind of about, losing inches, clothes fit differently, that kind of transformation is massive.
Okay.
But then
I was going to ask, in regard to the testimonials you have on the wall, what are the qualifications to make it up on said wall?
Honestly, there's no set qualifications. Of course, if you come in on day one and you're here for 30 days.
Right. Well, what if I do this for 2 years and I'm still just as fat?
Then we need to talk about this nutrition, bro.
So can I still get on the wall just for...
No, then you're just...
You're like, this dude, he's worked real hard. He's been exercising 3 days a week.
Then you're just a casual exerciser.
He's still just as fat now as he was then.
Have you noticed, you probably haven't noticed this because you don't spend a lot of time in the gym. But there's a lot of people that you see in the gym. I've seen people in the gym for years that look the same. Now, why is that? Either one, they're not following a program like Edge Body Boot Camp, or their nutrition is way off of whack. So if you're the same size, shape, frame that you are in 2 years, I'm going to say it's that mac and cheese, it's that McDonald's French fries.
Right. And look, I don't do that often.
For the record. Put it on the record. I don't do it often.
I don't do it often. Right. It's just, that's the problem. That's the problem with food.
You know why?
Usually it's usually when I eat, I don't always I'm not sitting around eating for pleasure. I like to eat stuff that I enjoy. Who doesn't? But for me, a lot of the time, it's like I'm so busy, a lot of times I'll eat out of necessity. So I'm, like I said earlier, I'm a creature of habit, right? So pretty much every day, my breakfast is turkey sausage. Like I'll have 7 pieces of turkey sausage, and that's it. So then I might work through lunch, not eat at all, and then come in here and work out. I've done that several times.
How'd you feel whenever you did those?
One time I had a headache when it was over with. But I've done it probably 3 or 4 times, and only once have I had a headache when it was over with. But the rest of the time, I didn't feel bad. I don't feel great, but I didn't feel horrible like I was about to, I'm gonna be face down in the gutter when I leave this place. But at the same time, I know that that's not a healthy thing to do. Because at that point your body's like in starvation mode, I'm sure. And so then when I work out and then I go and I do eat something, regardless of whether it's just a bowl of rice or a box of macaroni and cheese, my body's going to retain everything because it hasn't eaten all day, and then it's in starvation mode.
Starvation mode is kind of one of those old terms that, we used to use, and it used to be good. It's not as prevalent now. But there still is research out there that backs up the idea that, hey, you've got it's called your basal metabolic rate, meaning you need to consume X amount of calories per day, or your body's going to want to prolong its life, basically. So whenever you're not eating all day and you have a box of macaroni and cheese, for example, then your body wants to store as much of that as it can as fat. Fat has 9 calories per gram, where carbohydrates and protein have 4 calories per gram. So it's got a lot of energy in it. So it's going to want to store that as much as it can, just to prolong your life. It's just
But it clogs your arteries, and that is how stupid our bodies are.
thing. But what I like...
Oh, sorry.
I'm about to give you a compliment. One of the big reasons, I wanted you to kind of help out with this podcast is because the journey that we can take of, your nutrition and, because things you're saying now are things that, the average person listening may be like,
right.
I do that too. How do I fix that? So it's just a good learning experience overall. And then, it's, we can follow your journey throughout 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Results-wise, we've had people, I've had one guy's up on the wall now. His biggest thing that he did was he was cutting out soda. He's drinking, 3 or 4 of
And see, the key is McDonald's Cokes. McDonald's have the best Cokes. It's because there's so much sugar in it, so much syrup.
Do you know why? Whenever they...
Ray Kroc.
Founded McDonald's.
When he stole it from those two brothers.
He was a McDonald guy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ray.
Great movie.
You've seen the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
It's a great movie.
It is a great movie. I love that movie. But he put a patent on the time the syrup meets the carbonated water. So if it's comes out of the machine and whatever velocity it is, makes it hit at 0.13 seconds. If any other fast food restaurant in the world wants to do it at that time.
How do you know that? How is that? How did you gain that useless piece of knowledge to where it just happens to be useful in this moment? Well, regardless, they do have better Cokes than anybody else.
It could be false. It could be false and just something that I've heard. And that's because, they have that and they use the crushed ice and different things like that, which goes to show you the nutritional side of what our diet in America has become. It's, it's either going to be a lot of sugar or a lot of fat or a lot of salt.
Let me ask you this, because I think that, and this could be a point of contention for some people, but let's see if you have any additional information on this to put any myths to bed, right? 0 sugar soft drinks. Are they really just no different than drinking a normal soft drink? Or, because I've heard a mix. I've heard that because of the type of sugar substitutes they use, that your body still recognizes it a certain way and metabolizes it a certain way to the point where it's really no different. And then, of course, I've heard it's still better for you than even, say, Diet Coke.
Right. My whole thing with Cokes, sodas in general, 0 sugar Sprite is not going to derail you. If you need to have that, the carbonation, the fizziness in it, to feel like a human being, drink it. No big deal. Now, the outside of it, there is, without looking it up, I do know there was some research done regarding the artificial sweeteners in there affecting blood sugar, because your body feels like it, it's getting that sugar, it's getting things coming in, but there's nothing there. So your blood sugar goes up just with an insulin response. They've also did a study. This was a while ago, and they said that you would consume
and I have
more
heard
calories.
That. I've always heard that a diet drink is worse for you than just drinking a regular drink, which is funny because Leslie loves McDonald's Diet Coke. Like that's her vice. If, for some people it's heroin. For Leslie it's Diet Coke.
What's your vice? One thing.
What is my vice? I guess it could be one of two things. It could be I do like fountain Cokes. I try not to ever drink them. But like if I go to the movie theater, I'm hard pressed not to get a regular Coke at the movie theater. That's probably the only time I'll drink like a regular Coke, but even then, at times I'll go to the theater and I'll still get Coke Zero because they have Coke Zero there. The other thing is, and I'll do this on occasion, is I don't eat a lot of candy and chocolates and stuff like that, but on occasion I'll get like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Or an extra large dark chocolate Hershey's bar.
And you're going to have it because it's dark chocolate because it's better.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. But I think if anything, it's I guess so. I ultimately it would be sugar. I guess sugar is my.
See, that's a big thing that a lot of people have coming in here. Is like that's just the sugar side of things. That I mean, sugar is in everything.
Right. It is like crack. It really is. Because you do crave it, and if you don't have it for a long while, and you get away from it, but then you eat one thing, like a piece of candy or something, all of a sudden it's like you want all the candy. You have to have the candy. Because I go through that where I won't.
Yeah, which that's a neurological receptor.
Right.
Legitimate science-backed fact that sugar is addictive.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
that's
one of
why
the
I
main
stick with
things.
heroin.
There you go. Hey.
Yep.
To each their own.
Mm-hmm. I'm kidding. I'd be skinnier right now, I'm sure, if I
I
took
was
heroin.
trying to think of something, but I couldn't.
Okay, here's a question. All right, I got another. Because I'm inquisitive. Okay, so at one point I made a joke about this, but, I mean, there is some truth behind the humor. But that is, should you, before you do a workout such as the Edge Body Boot Camp, should you consult your doctor or talk to your doctor about it? Or should you talk to your doctor? Should you talk to your doctor before you do any kind of exercise or diet routine?
Because of your schedule, we had Leslie go ahead and fill out the front part over here. We went through it real quick, and then you signed it whenever you came in on the first day. Just your basic information on the front, and then just the physical activity readiness, kind of a yes or no answers. We ask about cholesterol, heart trouble, chest pain, bone or joint issues, dizziness, blood pressure.
Now, see, I didn't have
surgery.
issues with any of that until I started doing Edge Body Boot Camp.
You're stuck with me too, man. Sorry about that. Prescription medication, nicotine, or alcohol are just some of those questions that we ask. It's generic for everybody, so are you pregnant is always on there.
I just look pregnant.
It's always a question, and it's always a funny whenever a guy comes in and fills it out. Mm-hmm. But usually, so we'll take these here, and if you have a yes on any of those, that's where we kind of go into a little bit of like that consult your doctor, because I mean, if you say, yeah, I frequently have chest pains, yes, then it goes below that, and it basically asks you, hey, if you answered yes to any of these, answer this next question,
right?
Which says, have you consulted and or will you consult your physician regarding an increase in physical activity and or receiving a fitness evaluation or fitness program? And it says yes or no, and you have to initial on it.
And if they say no,
then
you say, sorry, you can't work out here? Or do you allow them, but they're taking their life into their own hands? How does that work?
Right, so if they put no and they initial it and they still want to work out, we let them work out.
Well, because at the end of the day, that goes into accountability, though.
Right.
You're a fitness health expert. You're not someone's mother.
Right.
Nor their doctor. That's the point of this form.
Right. And then usually whenever they come in and we ask, honestly, if they did say if they had heart or chest pains, then that's a serious matter. We're going to be like, have you talked to your doctor?
Dude,
no?
Come on.
Was there any way you could
do that?
Or do that. Okay, so have you been to the doctor about this?
Do you have
to
gas?
Your doctor? Is it gas? It could be gas. But, and if they say no, then honestly we're going to be like, this is a pretty intense program, pretty up and down, moving a lot. We can try it if you want to, but I'm really cautious and hesitant on having somebody in here doing that because, I don't want that to happen here. I don't want anybody here to, have to see that or experience that and have to,
right.
Yeah, and then even whenever, people say, yeah, I've got high cholesterol, I'm on medications, my blood pressure is too high. Yeah, and I was like, well, have you talked to your doctor about it? And they always say, oh, yeah, they want me to come here. They hear good things about Edge Body Boot Camp, so they want me to come here because they know that the trainers know what they're talking about, that they're knowledgeable. They'll be able to put you through a good workout.
Right.
And then also, we can kind of flip over. It's a 2-page assessment whenever they come in. The second page is just it's called an informed consent page. So basically, they're agreeing, they're signing, saying that hey, everything I answered on the front part is true to the best of my knowledge. I know that I'm doing physical activity. I know that I don't have to do anything I'm told. Like if you say, I mean they're right. Saying like, hey, if we say push-ups and you say no, I'm not going to do that. I mean, you don't have to do that. Be silly. I don't know why they would be here if they said no, but that's all fine.
I've said no a couple times.
Oh yeah, which I mean, which we'll use the same stuff for our one-on-one clients as well as 4 weeks and 6 week different kind of programs there, which is where some of the other stuff on there. But also then this covers any of the trainers that we have here. They carry their own general liability insurance as well, so there's kind of a double security thing there too. And it's another joke thing that I make, and I just say, yeah, this is the Don't Sue Me page, guys.
Right.
I mean, you fill this out, you sign this.
Well, I think everybody has the Don't Sue Me page.
In 2023, I'm sure that
Right.
everybody has that, no matter what.
Well, a second ago, you had said that people say, oh, we've heard about this program and that, my doctor is sending me here. My doctor knows about that. My doctor wants me to do this. To me, that says the doctor is tired of you as a patient, and they're hoping you'll have a heart attack so they can fill that space with somebody else.
You think of it that way. I think of it as a good reputation in the community.
Or that.
And they enjoy. Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Valid.
More than likely.
Which one?
Oh, that says body fat. I thought upside down, I thought it said booyah.
Booyah.
I was like, why is booyah on the fitness assessment questionnaire?
Yeah, so just basic question in the front. I tell people if you don't know your body fat or your weight, we can get that figured out for you here. Hopefully you know your height and your age.
Now, how long have you been doing this program? Like running the program?
Yeah, so we started in 2010. I came aboard as honestly just a weekend person in 2014.
Okay.
It's
almost a decade.
Yeah.
Have you ever...
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've actually thought of that. That's wild.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, certain circumstances happened that I was able to take over the head trainer position here at the end of 2014, and then more opportunities happened, and the ability to purchase it.
That's awesome.
Happened. So
now, in that 10 years, let's move on to something more interesting. In that 10 years that... in that 10 years that you've been doing this, have you ever had anyone have to call an ambulance or...
No.
There you go. That right there. So that's the reason I asked that question. That's the proof in the pudding right there.
Proof in the pudding right there.
Now it's fat-free.
Sugar-free, fat-free,
pudding.
low cholesterol, low fat.
Right, pudding.
Everything that goes with it.
Yeah.
But
now it's got a little bit of a Velveeta cheese mixed in there for some good measure.
You think it's butterscotch, but it's not.
Oh, it's not. But okay, so that's what I was curious about. So then, I mean, that right there, I think speaks. What's the whatever the phrase is? Speaks volumes. There we go.
Part of that working out 30 seconds, 45 seconds at a time. Yeah, we don't really take breaks during the workout during the 30-minute session itself.
No, you don't.
But I mean, anytime you want to go out and get a drink of water, or a couple instances, we've had it gets hot. So I mean, people, if they're dehydrated, they're going to feel a little bit lightheaded or anything. I mean, they'll come up front. So that's no big deal.
Is it bad that I see stars every now and then?
Like Superstar?
No. Like yeah. No, so like anytime I have to, so like if I'm doing tonight we did, what's the soldier where you put your feet on those the tracks?
We did trench crawls.
Trench crawls. There you go.
We should do an episode, best and worst exercises.
That was up there.
That's up there. Yeah.
Well, what was the one where I had to? This was yesterday where I had to put the ball on my legs.
Tabletop sit-ups.
Is that what that was? Where you put the ball?
Tabletop sit-ups.
How the hell am I supposed to put the ball on my legs and keep it there, and not roll off and?
Core strength, baby.
Yeah, but I see other people doing it, and I'm like, how are you doing it? I cannot keep the ball on my legs.
Balance.
And then every time it rolls back,
you were afraid you're going to hit yourself.
Crush my junk. Yeah.
I remember it.
It was a harrowing experience.
Look at you making puns.
Yeah.
And you were fine.
Because I had to looking around the room saying why.
Yeah. So if you see stars and you get dizzy or anything,
I haven't gotten dizzy, but there's a couple of times where I've, and it's usually if I'm doing like the first time I did bear crawls, it happened, and then when I was doing the soldier trench crawl, apparently when I crawl.
So both of those, you're going to have an increase in abdominal pressure. You're going to be, your head's going to be upside down.
That's part of it. I think that's
so
what it was.
You're going to have more blood rush to it. So then if you're not breathing right, or maybe even if you're a little bit dehydrated, then that's definitely something that you're going to feel. Some people complain about the burpees. That's too much for them to go down and come back up as much as we do because, they just get dizzy. They just...
Right. I don't have any problem with the burpees.
Let's do more of them.
Yeah. Well, that's not what I'm saying.
We can do more of them.
I'm just used to going down.
Staying down.
Jumping
I get
right
knocked
back
down.
up, but I get up again.
You're
never going to keep me down.
That's a workout song. You have not done that song yet, but
no,
we
I
do.
I am a Chumbawamba fan. I'll have you know.
You will not be a Chumbawamba fan after this song.
Really? I love me some tub thumping. That's a song you don't hear very often. When are you going to break that? There's a lot
Are you coming tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow.
Got you.
You going to do some... They'll be like, wait, how come there's no Exhibit playing? There's a lot of rap.
We don't play Exhibit here.
What's wrong with Exhibit?
I'm more 50 Cent, Eminem.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was
funny.
Some
Lil Wayne.
Earlier tonight, a song started playing, and Dustin's like, "Oh crap!" and then runs over and changes the song real quick. And then I asked him, like we're in the middle of working out, but I asked him, I said, "Why'd you change the song?" And he explained why. And I was like, "Oh, okay." But the next song, it's like mother effer, and I'm like, what's the difference between what you were saying before? I mean, I told him, I was like, we're all adults here. No one is going to complain.
Music is definitely something that we do try and do a variety. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more on the hip-hop, pop, rap side, just, better beats and everything. But I mean, we'll blast some AC/DC. We'll blast some Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, I've heard some of that
stuff.
Yeah, I've heard some hair metal band music.
Hair metal.
Well, it's music to keep you
going. Higher energy, that higher beat, Paradise City, high intensity, everything with it. I just like
Yeah. So no country western.
Honestly, that's about all I listen to exclusively.
Really?
Outside of here.
Okay. I can say this.
I love me some George Strait, some Merle Haggard,
Dr. Hook,
and The Medicine Show.
How about David Allan Coe?
Not really a big David Allan Coe fan. The Ride.
I used to hate country music.
I did too.
And then my ex, that's all she listened to. So after, it's with anything, the more you're exposed to it, the better it gets, or the easier it gets to continue to be exposed to it. But after a while, country music's not so bad. Ironically, I've been to quite a few concerts. Best concert I've ever been to, Garth Brooks.
I believe it. I hear he puts on a heck of a show.
It was fantastic.
He's an entertainer. So story about Haley, my wife, my beautiful wife.
Mm-hmm. You have to throw that in there just in case she listens. But she won't because she has to hear your voice all the time.
She hears it all the time. Or we're listening to it now, and I'm looking at her and saying,
Yeah. You're like, hey, are you listening to this? Pay attention.
But no, serious though. So one of my earliest, you always know of country music or rap music. You know of these things, but you just don't listen to it. One time, I don't even remember why or what was going on, but Kip Moore. Do you know Kip Moore?
Sounds
Kip
sort of
Moore
familiar.
did a song called Beer Money.
Okay.
And it came out about the first time, whenever we first started dating, 2016. So then it was kind of like the thing, I'd say, the whole premise of the song is worked all week. I got a little bit of money. I don't have a lot, but I got enough for some beer money. Let's go out. And that was kind of like a little thing, as redneck and bad as that sounds, as I say it out loud. But it was, and that was kind of, a thing. Started listening to Kip more, and then it just evolved into.
That was a great story.
Whenever I have stories like that at the house, Haley always likes to say, man, I hope you found $5 after that story.
I was going to say, I won't say it's a bad story, very anticlimactic. I thought it was going to go into some like big Sleepless in Seattle kind of romance when Harry met Sally. Serendipity. Nope.
Sorry.
Not even. That wasn't even a head over heels with Freddie Prinze Jr.
That was bad.
Yeah.
You just crushed my dream.
I'm sorry.
You just.
You'll get better with time as the podcast keeps going. This may be the last episode.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Edge Body Radio Show. I hope you guys enjoyed what you listened to today. It's always a fun time when PJ and I get to riff on each other a little bit. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you drop us a 5-star on Spotify, iTunes, wherever it is you listen to your podcast at. If you want a little bit more information, check us out on our Facebook page or Instagram page, Edge Body Boot Camp, or feel free to just step into the workout facility itself at 4010 Frederick Street here in Owensboro, Kentucky. Until then, you guys have a great day.